Watching the Knicks upset the Rockets, but not before video circulated online showing Lee and MSG security in a pregame confrontation outside an elevator.
Because no one told me. No one told me. No one told me. I'm staying here. Now, you want to arrest me like Charles Oakley? Yeah. Or you arrest me like you want to shut my hand on my back like Oakley?
Now, Spike was on hand through the end of the game as the moment by the elevator went viral. Afterwards, the Knicks downplayed the situation, said that the award-winning director and owner James Dolan had even shook hands. Then Spike decided to tell his side of the story. Here's Malika Andrews.
But no one told me. No one told me.
Hours after a viral video circulated of Knicks superfan Spike Lee getting into a heated verbal exchange with Madison Square Garden security, Lee appeared on First Take Tuesday morning and unloaded on the team that has had his steadfast support.
What happened?
I've been using the same entrance for 28 plus years. The employee's entrance on 33rd Street. Last night, I go in, my ticket gets scanned. I'm in. The security guy comes to me and says, "We need you to get off the elevator." I said, "For what?" So we could speak about it now. I said, "I'm not getting out of the elevator. The garden floor is on the 5th floor. Elevator goes up to 5, and security's waiting for me like I just ran out of Macy's stealing something." They wanted me to leave the garden, walk outside, out the 33rd Street employee entrance where I came from, walk outside, and come back on 31st Street. And I said, "I'm not doing that." I put my hands behind my back, and I said, "Arrest me like my brother Charles Oakley."
Lee said that he'd not planned to speak publicly about the incident until he saw that the Knicks sent a statement to reporters saying that he and Knicks owner Jim Dolan were socializing at halftime.
I'm being harassed by James Dolan. I don't know why. The press release says that we shook hands and we were laughing. I wasn't shaking his hands. In fact, when he came over me, I didn't get up right away. I was down sitting in my seat.
Over the course of his nearly 30 years as a season ticket holder, Lee has spent an estimated $10 million on season tickets at the Garden.
Are you going back to a Knicks game this year?
Not this year.
Are you considering?
No, I'm coming back next year, but I'm done for the season. I'm done.
So for the rest of the season, the Knicks will have to soldier on without their number one fan. From New York, Malika Andrews, ESPN.
Now, following Spike's appearance on First Take, the Knicks released this statement, quote, "The idea that Spike Lee is a victim because we have repeatedly asked him to not use our employee entrance and instead use a dedicated VIP entrance, which is used by every other celebrity who enters the Garden, is laughable. It's disappointing that Spike would create this false controversy to perpetuate drama. He's welcome to come to the Garden anytime via the VIP or general entrance, just not through our employee entrance, which is what he and Jim agreed to last night when they shook hands." Well, next to Spike Lee, no one keeps an eye on the Knicks more than Stephen A. Smith. He joins us now on SportsCenter. So this morning, you were sitting right there when Spike said he won't go to another game at MSG this season. How did we get to this point here?
Because you have an owner in the New York Knicks, unfortunately, who acts like a child. And it's time that somebody just says it for what it is. I'm one of the rare people that do not dislike James Dolan. I think he cuts the check and he tries to hire the best people, but he can't help but stay in his own way. Here's the bottom line. Charles Oakley left Madison Square Garden in handcuffs. You got little kids that's been thrown out of Madison Square Garden just because they asked the man to sell the team. And now your most renowned season ticket holder, a person synonymous with the New York Knicks more than anybody, certainly more than any player over the last 20 plus years. You're going to sit up there and give him problems. It makes no sense whatsoever. And when you listen to the Knicks statement, what makes no sense about that statement is, what do you mean you told him on several occasions? Spike Lee says, show me the email, show me the text message, show me the voicemail. Let's hear it, because he did not know. And if indeed you had told him several times and that was an employee entrance, how did Spike Lee get his ticket scanned? It makes no sense whatsoever. And the New York Knicks once again looks bad for all the wrong reasons, as if looking bad on the court wasn't bad enough. Now they're looking bad in the headlines because of James Dolan. Just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous and embarrassing, and Spike will be forever linked with former Pacers star Reggie Miller during the great battles at MSG in the 90s. And Reggie, he weighed in tweeting this: Oh, how the mighty have fallen. This wouldn't happen at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Maybe finally time to switch your allegiance. Spike. Stephen A., why do the Knicks continue to find themselves in the news for all the wrong reasons? And it seems like this is a daily occurrence.
Because of James Dolan, their ownership. Listen, when Spike Lee said you have security people there that are frightened to talk to him because they fear repercussions. You had players that were scared to talk to people because they were frightened of repercussions. This is what life has been like at Madison Square Garden. Now, Steve Mills, along with Scott Perry, when Steve Mills was there as president of basketball operations, swore that there was change coming. I have no doubt that Leon Rose will swear there is change coming. The problem is nobody seems to be able to control James Dolan and manage his petulance. And when you see the kind of stuff that has transpired, think about the things that he's done to throw people under the bus. It's time that we say this, and I hate saying this, but remember, when Charles Oakley had an issue with him, they issued a statement talking about we hope that he addresses his alcohol problems. You have a situation here with Spike Lee where you're calling him a liar. But basically, these are people that have supported your franchise when your franchise has done nothing in the last 20 plus years to deserve any support. This doesn't make any sense. But that's what we're usually saying about James Dolan. It doesn't make any sense because he doesn't seem to make a lot of sense sometimes. It's really a damn shame.
Welcome to the Knicks, Leon Rose. Good luck. Stephen A. is coming back later in the show to weigh in on the beat-up Sixers and their future.